But now ask the beasts, and they will teach you, and the birds of the air, and they will tell you, or speak to the earth, and it will teach you, and the fish of the sea will explain to you. Who among all these does not know that the hand of the Lord has done this? In whose hand is the life of every living thing, and the breath of all mankind? And He is good to take care of you. He's going to. And you do not have to worry about anything. He will always take care of you. Hey guys, we're so excited you joined us today. We got a special treat. Today we're gonna be at Grant Family Exotics. They've been kind enough to let us come in and look at all their animals. And Eli's super excited. Eli, what are some of the things we're gonna see in here?
Iguanas. We're gonna work at one of those. In the middle was that. We're gonna see a gecko. We're gonna see.
They got a Burmese python. They got a big tortoise. And it's gonna be really fun, isn't it, son?
Yeah.
So we're gonna go, and we hope you have a great time. Thanks for joining us. Come on. What did we find, son?
A centipede.
A centipede?
Yeah, and over there, here's an anteater.
There's an anteater? What? Hey, you know what? That anteater's name is Ava, and we're gonna get to see it. Are you so excited? Yeah? What about the snake? Are you gonna hold the snake? Yeah?
Yeah.
Man, it's gonna be really cool. So this is a Vietnam centipede. These are not to be trifled with. These have they pack a powerful punch. They're venomous. It does not feel good from what I understand. I've never been bitten by a centipede, but I don't plan on it either. This is a desert hairy scorpion. And what's cool about scorpions is all of them fluoresce under a black light. So, Mrs. Grant is going to get Ava out for us. Ava is a tamandua, also known as a lesser anteater. And we're actually going to get to interact with this lesser anteater, and it's going to be really cool. Eli actually gets to hold. It's not going to stink.
But I'd be terrified.
Don't be terrified. You gotta get over it. Usually you're not scared of stuff. Here, just hold on. Just stand right here. It's okay. Okay, he's a little nervous. He'll get over that real quick once he sees how nice this anteater is. Wow, guys. Oh, this is awesome. This is Ava. Can you tell me a little bit about Ava?
Yeah, so she's a tamandua anteater. So she's one of the smallest species of anteater. They are arboreal, so she does love to climb. That's what she has these big front claws here for. And so she'll grip everything with those. She also has a prehensile tail.
Oh,
I
you
might be
guys,
able to get rid of.
prehensile, what that means is that it moves independently by itself. She's able to grip things like tree branches and stuff. That almost moves like a finger for her.
Look at him.
See how agile she is when she's upside down? I'm gonna give it a shot. I'm gonna hold this anteater. I've never even been this close to an anteater, so I'm excited. How do I go about?
I can take the big thing
Watch
out.
her claws with your face, because sometimes she'll get up close to your head.
Wow!
And that'll go right in your ear.
Oh my goodness. It's not bad, son. Oh, she's looking at me. Oh, that feels so funny. Oh, she stuck her tongue in my ear, son. Ew, I know. That is so funny. Are you sure you don't want to try it? Wow. I need one of these. We totally need one of these, son. You got that there. I'm a little bit sweaty. It's probably that salt you like, huh?
Yep, she'll lick that salt.
Okay, but come on. Hey, what are we doing, Eli?
I'm gonna pet the snake.
You're about to pet the snake? What's the snake's name?
Lola.
Lola? Hey, you know what? So he's gonna get that out and you're gonna get to touch the snake. There's other snakes we get to touch too. We get to see and get up close with. Won't that be cool?
But what's that for?
So what I do with this,
I already Peterson has one of those.
yeah. So what I do with this is I just touch her to let her know that I'm there, and then I pull her out. If you just reach in and grab her, sometimes they don't like that, especially some of the bigger snakes. And so it's called tap training. So you just tap them with this, and then you can pull them right out.
I never hold a snake in my real life before.
Yes, you have.
I never hold one before.
Yeah, you held
Grab
the
her, let her know I'm there.
You held the black rat snake, remember?
Rat snake?
You stay back. You let him tell you when to come, okay?
A little bit of bitty. All right. You can come and here. We'll flip around this
Do you
way.
want to hold it for back in?
No,
hold that side?
I think you need to put on the floor.
Well,
No,
that's
if
a,
she's on the floor, she's out of control, and you
Yep.
can't.
I'll hold this side if you want to hold that side.
You want to hold her tail right here?
Yeah.
wow.
She's heavy. You got her?
Yeah, I got her.
Okay.
But don't let go.
Whoa!
That is amazing, son. You know, most people would be way less scared of the anteater than a Burmese python.
Oh!
I've taught you well.
That's all right. This is Lola. She's 4 years old. She's an albino Burmese python. She's right at 10 foot long. So she's still got a little ways to go. She's just one of our girls that we have, and she's a sweetheart. So you can turn around. All right, look. We'll get shot like that. Hold on to her tail.
Hold on to your tail.
And look. Now look, you're holding her all by yourself.
Oh, wow, son. Oh.
Here, we'll put her on your shoulder.
There we go. It's way easier to hold that way. Wow. So this is an albino python, and these are usually.
Yeah, strong and mighty, huh?
Hold on to my butt. I'm 4.
So that's just her pattern. And then if you look where her scales are kind of bent, that's from her sitting in her cage all coiled up.
So we definitely want to get a.
I might hold this side a little bit.
Yeah, you can pick it back up if you want to.
What? Can you help me a little bit?
Eli, I don't know about you, but this is the best pet store I've ever been in. What about you? You think so?
Can I pet that snake? Can I hold it?
Oh,
So
this
you can
one's
kind of see
exciting.
them.
Is it?
And this one's super cool because this is a ball python, but it's a different kind of morph. It's
this
called
one feminine?
pied ball
Is
python.
this one feminine?
Nope, it's not venomous. These guys are constrictors. We don't have any venomous snakes here.
Okay, you gotta hold on to that snake, okay? Well, yeah, maybe.
There you go. And here,
afraid
we'll
you're
cover
biting.
this way so we can get rid of the light a little bit.
So can you tell me a little bit, do you breed these guys?
So this one in particular, no, but we do breed ball pythons. Over the years, we've got heavy into it and then got out a little bit. Currently, I think we have 7 pair left right now. So we don't breed super heavy like we used to. At one point, we had over 250. So a cool thing about ball pythons is no matter what, even as a big adult, a paper cut isn't going to hurt you more than what this guy will be able to. They don't have big, huge fangs or anything like that since they're not venomous. Their teeth are really more like sandpaper, like a catfish.
See, I didn't even know that.
Yep. They're very, very small teeth.
Ball python this size, what do you feed them?
So this guy right here is actually eating small adult mice. They just moved up from hopper mice not very long ago, which is like a teenage mouse. But now they're eating small adults. Eventually they'll eat a small rat, but they never really need anything bigger than that.
I'm holding one.
You are holding.
We gotta end up with all the things.
Not all the snakes.
And so you can kind of see there's differences too with the pieds. Some have more pattern, some have less pattern. And it's all random. So a mom and dad that have super high white can make low white babies.
Look at their families.
I guess they.
Whoa. Whoa.
Here, let me have one.
Okay, you can have one. You're holding one.
Yep, I'm
And I'm
holding
holding
one.
Bracelet.
It's not bracelet.
Hey, what are these snakes' names? Do we have names for these snakes?
Nope, they're just pied ball pythons. They're both boys.
Pied ball excuse me. Pied ball python. So it's the job of the purchaser to name these ones.
Yep.
What would you name it if you owned these, Eli?
Thorn.
Sean?
Yeah.
What would you name the other one?
Restrictor.
Restrictor? Hey, I like it. Simple and to the point. So unfortunately, my mic went out at this scene, but that's okay because we get to talk about it anyway. What he is showing right now is a green basilisk, and I love these because they call these Jesus lizards because they can walk on water. They are so fast that they can walk on water. Why it's called a Jesus lizard is Jesus walked on water one time. He was in a boat and he went out of the boat and was walking on water, and he called out to his disciple Peter to come walk with him, and he was telling him that he needed to have faith and walk with him, and Peter did. He believed in him so much that he went and walked with Jesus on water. Isn't that neat? So there you have Eli touching the green basilisk. You can tell that he is just in hog heaven, getting to interact with all these animals. Mr. Grant had to handle this one because green basilisks can be aggressive. You can see his mouth is open there. So we didn't let Eli hold him, but we did let him touch him. Eli, hold that up to your... Hold that up. We are going to advertise everywhere. So, they gave us a t-shirt, and it says, just one more reptile, I promise. That's going to be us. As soon as we have a place to put them, we're going to have snakes and lizards and geckos. Did you tell Mr. and Mrs. Grant thank you?
Thank you.
You're welcome, bud.
So now we got baby bearded dragons. These are just some of the most popular pets. They make incredible pets. There we go. Oh, that's a staying pretty calm, isn't he? You gotta. This is definitely going to be our starter animal. Once we talk Mom into letting you have a reptile, that's going to be our starter for sure. So guys, this is a tegu. Am I saying that right?
Yep. Black and white tegu.
A black and white tegu. And I don't know if you guys can tell, but this is a big lizard. This is probably one of the biggest lizards I've seen in a pet store, aside from iguanas. What do you think of this tegu, son?
A little bit scary.
A little bit scary?
Yeah.
A little bit scary?
Yeah.
But you wanted to hold it, didn't you? So this is Hades, and we're not going to be able to get him out because Mr. Grant has told us he's a little bit aggressive. He's a rescue, and he wasn't really taken care of that well before he came here. Now he's extremely well taken care of. Probably got a lot fatter. What do these tegus eat?
So they're omnivores, so they eat a little bit of everything. Fruits, vegetables, fish, rodents, really anything.
Wow.
We do frozen turkey balls with fish. And they like those. We do a grain-free seafood-based cat food, wet cat food that they really like.
Oh,
That's
wow.
a good substitute for them. But yeah.
That's pretty cool. You guys, I am so excited about this
Can
one.
I hold this one?
Sorry. Hold on one sec, but I gotta grab it.
Eli, this time you cannot hold this one.
Why?
You want to know why?
Why?
Because we're about to get out a Gila monster. And guess what?
What?
Gila monsters are venomous. When they bite, they can envenomate you. And it can make you really sick. So we don't want that. We want somebody that has handled Gila monsters before. So excited is because this is one of 3 venomous lizards. There are very few venomous lizards. We got the Gila monster, the beaded lizard, and the Komodo dragon are the 3 venomous lizards. Look at that guy. So you guys obviously know that that tongue, it's flicking out in the air, and he's picking up smells. And they really good. It takes it back to a thing inside of its head called a Jacobson's organ, and it processes the smell that way.
Yep, and since they are venomous, even though she is nice, that's why I'm holding either side of her neck so she can't reach back with her head or anything like that.
So can you tell us about venom delivery on these guys?
So a lot of people think that it's just because they have a dirty mouth or that type of thing, but as you said, these guys actually have venom gland that actually produce a venom versus other big like monitor lizards and stuff that if you get bit, it's more of just because they've been eating dirty stuff. These guys, there's no deaths attributed to their venom, but it does cause swelling. For instance, I haven't ever been bit, but I had a friend that was bit, and her hand swelled up like a doctor's glove when you blow it up.
Wow.
For about 24, 48 hours, and then it went down. But she said it did hurt.
Did it cause any like nausea or like did it make them?
Yeah, she said just kind of from the pain.
Oh, gotcha.
More than anything, but.
So yeah, if you're in Arizona, probably not mess with a Gila monster. Or is that they're native to like the west, right?
Correct. Yep. And then beadeds are a little bit farther north, but some of the Gilas actually make it up farther north as well. But this is a reticulated beaded or reticulated Gila, so they're from the further south.
So reticulated means net-like, and you can see that coloration, that pattern is very net-like, and it's really good at breaking up the edges of their body, and it makes it really hard to see in the wild.
And what's cool about these guys is even though they are from the desert area, they actually find little microhabitats where it stays a lot cooler. So that's one of the biggest issues with breeding these guys in captivity is people can't get them cold enough during their cool down period. They need to be down into the 50s and even the high 40s, which most people don't think being from the desert they would need to be like that. So you can actually overheat these guys really easy.
Wow, that is super interesting. I did not know that. Oh, they started without me. Just joking. I'm so excited. Look at this. Okay.
Do you remember what I told you about his shell?
Mrs. Grant, what kind of tortoise is this?
He's a cicada tortoise.
Cicada tortoise. Okay. Where are they from?
They're from Africa.
They're from Africa. Wow. And how long have you guys owned this tortoise?
I don't know, like 5 years?
Yeah, we've had Danny for about 5 years.
He's about 30 years old.
And then we go get this one.
That's a baby version.
And then we go get
So this is a baby, you say cicada. Cicada tortoise that Eli's holding.
I'm gonna get this one.
That one's about probably 5 to 6 weeks old.
Oh.
Don't turn him up like that. It makes it really hard for him to breathe like that. You have to keep him flat.
So does that mean that you guys have bred these tortoises here?
We have, yeah.
Oh wow, that is super exciting. That's not an easy task, usually.
Here, let's give him back. I'm afraid you're gonna drop it.
Every time, huh?
Yeah.
It's just part of the gig right here. Can't see if you don't know what that is.
He's like
We won't even go
bigger than
into
this
it.
tortoise.
And do you remember what I told you about his shell? You don't? Okay, so their shell, they actually have nerve endings that go all throughout their shell, so they can actually feel their shell being touched, or if there's a lot of damage to it, or if...
Whoa! Oh, guys, we had an explosion.
He got pee.
He did. Is it a he or she?
It's a he. It's Danny.
He did. He did. But that's okay. It happens. That's kind of just, that's what animals do. That's what you do. That's quite the mess right there.
So like I was saying, they actually do have nerve endings all the way throughout their shell, so anytime you touch or put too much pressure or carve into, a lot of people will do that to box turtles and stuff like that, they actually can feel all that, so it's actually painful for them. If you want a similarity, it's kind of like if you touch your fingernail with your finger, you can feel that, it's just not the same touch that you feel on your skin. That's kind of how they feel their shells as well.
That is super interesting. That's not something I knew.
We're about to go in there and pet one.
You're gonna go in there and pet one? Let's ask Mrs. Grant. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I've got a few different tortoises in here as well. This is actually a rescue cicada who actually should be about as big as Danny, but he was poorly kept. He didn't have proper lighting or proper diet, so his shell didn't get to form correctly. And then this is actually Becky. She's actually a leopard tortoise.
I love that name, Becky. That's a great
She's
name
about
for a tortoise.
half grown. You got her?
Oh,
Okay, support her bottom of it.
she's pretty excited to be with you right there.
Yeah.
This is the male leopard tortoise.
Okay.
They're friends.
They're probably boyfriend and girlfriend.
Yeah, that's what we're hoping.
That's what they're hoping. Okay. Yes. We're gonna hope for that too.
They're gonna pet this guy right here.
He's gonna what? Okay, Eli, tell me about that snake.
I'm about to pet it. But speaking of petting, I'm gonna hold it.
You're gonna hold it?
Yeah.
So he's not as pretty as he normally is.
Oh, wow.
There you go. Alright, come right here so they can videotape you.
Wow.
It can like hands.
Eli, that's pretty cool.
So this is an albino bull snake. It's actually our largest snakes in Oklahoma is bull snakes. Longest snakes. Yep.
Wow. So you find these everywhere in Oklahoma? Or are they just...
So we actually have them here locally, and up in Bristow. It's more northern Oklahoma. There's large quantities of them in northwest Oklahoma, but
That is definitely the biggest bull snake I've ever come across. Also the least aggressive bull snake I've ever
And he's
come
in
across.
shed. And typically with bull snakes, they're not really aggressive. It's more of a bluff.
Is it
They'll
really?
hiss, they'll open their mouth, and if you put your hand in front of them, they'll just hit you with their nose. They won't even be biting.
Did not know that.
It's just one of their
Wow.
bluff moves, so to speak. So.
They also mimic rattlesnakes. They use their tails and they'll hit leaves.
Yep.
They'll
Try to
make people think that they're rattlesnakes.
They'll rattle that tail. Any of the clue grids pretty much do that.
Oh, all the clue
So
grids
your
do
corn
that.
snakes, king snakes, milk
Okay.
snakes.
He's just mommy.
That is the coolest bull snake I've ever seen in my life. So guys, this is actually, if you've ever seen a reticulated python, it looks nothing like this. This is a reticulated python, but this is a different morph. And he said, Mr. Grant, that's a phantom?
Super phantom.
Super phantom.
Yep.
And so they don't have any of the coloration that a normal reticulated python has. And if you get close on this guy, get close to his face, you'll see those labial pits are really pronounced on the head of that snake.
You can touch him, it's alright. Different morphs.
What's the morph, the colored morph?
So this is a golden child orange glow.
Okay.
This is a tiger,
Oh, that's the tiger. Okay.
which orange glow is a version of albino.
Okay.
And then that's the super phantom. Alright, so just make sure you got her secure, okay?
Okay, I'm definitely gonna keep this.
Oh.
Can I keep it?
That's a super hypo boa. In the pet trade, we call them red-tailed boas. They aren't true red-tailed boas, though. These guys are from Colombia, where your true red-tails are your Surinams and your Guyanas and Peruvians. You want to make sure you're holding on
Yeah,
tight.
you hold on to them. You don't want to drop them.
If they're on the ground, they feel scared. Not like the ball python that felt better on the ground.
So guys, this is a leopard gecko that Eli's holding right now. Can you tell us a little bit about this gecko?
Yeah, so I actually got her like my sophomore year. She's actually 14 years old right now. They live about 25 years.
You got her when you were
A sophomore in high school.
sophomore in high school.
I've had her longer than I've had my husband.
Oh my goodness.
Have you always had a love for animals?
Yes, I have. Make sure I support her whole body. I actually originally thought that I wanted to be like a veterinary, work at a veterinary or do something of that sort, but I realized really quickly how much schooling it took and how much death rate was in it, and I was like, yeah, that might not be really what I want to do. And then my senior year, I actually met my husband, and we slowly started accumulating in lots of reptiles and started raising, and then I decided I wanted to have a storefront and educate people the proper way on how to handle them.
So if you could tell people something, what would it be? You could share some wisdom.
Don't always take everything that you read on the internet about animals to heart. We're solely insect eaters, so she eats a lot of crickets and superworms, dubia
I
roaches.
can't hold it.
You already held it.
What is the best reptile for a kid?
Leopard geckos are really great starters because their setup is very, very simple. They don't require a lot of special lighting. Overall, size-wise, their enclosure is quite a bit smaller than what other things need. With that being said, there are special things that they need as well. I mean, they do need a vitamin supplement. They need to have proper diet. They don't house well with others. They do need to be housed solitary. But just overall, with a kind of a cheaper setup compared to having to buy like full spectrum lighting or like a 6-foot enclosure for something.
Yeah.
They're quite a bit cheaper to start off with, and they make really good pets if you do it right.
I want to ask a few questions. So this channel is a kids YouTube channel. So we like to ask our adults kid questions. Can I ask you a few kid questions?
Yeah.
Okay. We want to know, first of all, what's your favorite animal?
Possums, like just American regular possums, are one of my favorite
Oh, I
animals.
love that. What is your favorite food?
Favorite food? Mexican food. Anything Mexican food.
Anything Mexican food?
Mexican food.
So you're like,
Amazing.
keep the chips and salsa coming. Like, that's awesome.
Queso, and then put more cheese on top of it, and yeah.
Okay, so the next two questions are, these kids go crazy over this question, and I'll try to explain myself. What is a food that you like that people think you're weird for liking?
I love black olives. I will eat black olives like any time of the day, no matter what, by themselves.
Eat the jumbos.
He
That's
thinks
a
it's weird.
That is a solid answer,
But-
because there's a lot of people who hate olives.
I love black olives. Yeah.
Do you really?
They're terrible. I can't
Okay.
smell
Yeah,
them.
I can't handle black olives at all.
And she gets the ones that are like this big.
Oh, I get the
It's like
really
a
big ones, and I eat them as a snack. Like they're
If they're diced like super tiny on a pizza, I'm like, there's black olives. Yeah.
Okay, so on the obverse side of that, what is a food that you don't like that people think you're weird for not liking? I tell the kids I don't like s'mores, and they flip.
it's pretty un-American to not like s'mores.
It is.
I don't know. Let's see. A food I don't like. I really, really don't like. I don't eat fish or seafood or clams or lobster. So
you.
I guess a lot of people make fun of me for that because we go to like a fancy restaurant and I'm like, I'll get chicken strips.
Oh, that is good.
Um,
So it'd be safe to say that you eat nothing that comes from the water.
pretty much. Not anymore. I used to. I had a couple bad experiences with it, which is probably why I don't now. But
Yeah.
That is awesome.
he's a red Ackie.
Red Ackie.
He's really dirty right now.
Probably
They're dusty.
maybe touch him.
You said they bite sometimes?
Yeah. I don't handle them too much because since I have the male and female house together, I'm hoping that they'll start to breed. And so I haven't been doing too much handling.
We are so glad you guys decided to join us today on The Rich Life. We had so much fun. We've been at Grant Family Exotics in Sand Springs. So if you're ever in the Tulsa area, we want to encourage you to come check them out. They have so many cool animals. It's not like your standard pet store. They have everything, and it is so neat. So make sure next time you're in Tulsa to come see Mr. and Mrs. Grant at Grant Family Exotics. Wow, we had such a fantastic time at Grant Family Exotics. We saw so many different reptiles and amphibians. I think my favorite was definitely Lola, the big Burmese python. It was so fun, and Eli had a ball. If you'll remember at the beginning of the video, I put a verse from Job. Animals just tell such a great story about God's character. This week we want to encourage you to talk to your friends about Jesus, about God. And maybe you can do that through animals. You know, we saw that green basilisk lizard, and it's also called the Jesus lizard. That's a great opportunity to say, hey, you know, there's a lizard called the Jesus lizard. Here's why it's called the Jesus lizard. And you can tell them a story about how Jesus walked on water. It's a very good way to tell your friends about the gospel. So we hope you have a great week. We're so blessed that you joined The Rich Life this week. Don't forget to like and subscribe our channel, and also tell your friends, because we want to encourage you, empower you. Also parents, we want to help you encourage your kids, to empower them to speak God's word no matter where they are. We'll see you next time. Thanks for joining The Rich Life.